How much does a family law case cost in Michigan? My name is Goldman. I'm the director and founder of Goldman and Associates. Our firm has a primary focus on family law issues right here in Michigan. And today, we're going to continue our video series designed to educate and inform the public. So please subscribe to our channel. Well, it's a good question. What does a case normally cost in Michigan? Because you got two elements. You got a retainer, which is an amount of money that's paid up front to begin the initial proceedings, sort of a deposit, if you will. And then you've got the hourly rate, which is in most cases, but not all, billed against the retainer. These two items are going to change depending on the complexity of the case, depending on where you are. I imagine that if you're, somewhere in Sault Ste. Marie, the retainers are going to be somewhat less than they are in Birmingham, Michigan. So I just think that the venue is going to be important. The locale is important. But I think, like I said, the complexity of the case, how much is involved. A case where you have no children and no assets and no liabilities is probably going to mandate a smaller fee than one where there's a golf course and there's custody battle regarding children and there's all sorts of other complex issues that go on. So, but let me give you some general parameters. Here, where I make this video is in Troy, Michigan, it's Oakland County. Around here, for an average garden variety divorce, where maybe you have some minor custody issues and stuff like that, retainers are going to run between probably maybe $3,000 to $6,000 as an average. That doesn't mean that it's not appropriate that some of them will be much higher or lower, just depending on what you got going on. But I'm trying to give you basic parameter averages. Now, remember one thing. No one contemplates that the retainer will support the whole case. The retainer is like a deposit. It's like when you go to a furniture store, you put $500 down, you put a couch on layaway, for example. Nobody expects that you're going to be able to get that whole couch for that money. There will come a time when you have to put more into it. Similarly, with retainers and lawyers, the retainer is merely a deposit to get things going. It is possible every now and then in a rare circumstance that a case can be handled within the boundaries of the retainer. But in most cases, the retainer is not the most you're going to pay. It's the least you're going to pay because there's going to be other things that are going to come up. And out of that retainer, for example, if you're starting a new case, the filing fees are going to come out of there. And the process server fees are going to come out of there. So already, if you paid $3,000 retainer and $255 to file it, and the process server is charging $100, of that $3,000, you got $2,700 left. You've already spent $300 or $400 without any legal work. So you can see how this will diminish. So my point is that every case is different, but you can expect these things to be time consuming. I always, as I talk to other attorneys from other firms, I always marvel when they say that they get complaints that the clients thought that the case would only cost the retainer. I've seen so many retainer agreements from so many different law firms, and ours, of course, as well, and very clear that there's hourly rates, the retainer is an amount of money that you put up front. It's not presumed to cover the whole case, and it won't cover the whole case, especially if the parties are at odds. If mom won't let dad see the kids, there's going to be a battle, and that battle is going to cost money. And there's nothing more important for you to spend your money on than your ability to have a relationship with your kids. So it's something that you have to accept that the case will cost what it costs. Now, it is true some lawyers are more expensive, some lawyers are less expensive. I will tell you this though: don't be fooled by the amount of the retainer to dictate the ultimate cost. You may say, well, I like both these lawyers, but this one wants $2,500, this one's $4,000. I'm going to go with the $2,500. It's going to cost what it costs anyway. If a case takes 10 hours, it's going to take 10 hours. So the one who charged you less is just going to send you that next bill quicker. And the one that charged you more won't need a replenishment of money so quick. So I just think you have to look at it like miles. If you're going to drive from Detroit to Cleveland, it's 180 miles. That means that, you get 18 miles per gallon, you need 10 gallons. So if 10 gallons is what you need, that's what you need to put in. If you want to put 5 gallons in, you know what? You're going to run out of gas in Toledo and you're going to have to refill. It's the same thing. You pay less of a retainer. Don't think that means you're saving money. You're not saving money. It's just costing you less at that moment. But odds are, these cases are all going to fall within the range. They're going to cost what they're going to cost. So it's better to find a person that you like, find a firm that you feel has an overall good track record, and that way when you have them and they'll be in your corner, and if you're going to hyper focus on, this filing fee is this much, or why does it cost so much to Xerox this and Xerox that, it's just going to take you away from your focus, which should be on your case and on your kids. So that would be my recommendation with respect to that. Now, if you have any questions about that, reach out. We'll be glad to help you out.